Sign up now at elevate.miami.edu for my course, Organized Rhyme.
Looking at the word legacy, while involving some wordplay, I'll use the first syllable to build upon. We'll use the first syllable, leg. For the second syllable, we'll use an. And for the third syllable, we'll use the word knee. So now we have leg and knee. Can we use it in context with legacy? Let's just see.
Wordsworth Productions with a S.com for all merch. I got 2 books available right now. Well, Words Are Worth Volume 1, and I also have a children's book called Socks. Age range from 12 to 15, so it's kind of like the middle school and high school age range, but adults can read it as well. Yeah, good morning, everybody. What up, world? Welcome to another episode of What Words Are Worth, and today I got an artist, a lyricist, a legend. Original person, like, originality. When we talk about originality in hip hop, this artist has that bleeding through his veins. When you listen to his music, you can't help but follow the flow. It's not just linear, one way of rapping. It's not just you nod your head and you keep it moving. You have to study his style. You have to study his style for real, man. Welcome to the stage, one half of the Cella Dwellas, the one and only Phantasm, man. What's happening, brother?
What's up, Words? What's going on, man? Pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be here by a fellow lyricist, you know what I mean? So you're not just a journalist. You know exactly what it takes to be one of them dudes. So I respect your platform, and I give it up to you. Salute.
Thank you, man. Yeah, this is, as we're evolving, we was talking about that off camera. I was like, man, I want to do a podcast. But then I was like, what I'm gonna do it about? I don't want to be critiquing nobody. I don't want to be dissing people bars and nothing like that. And then I was like, what would people respect from me? I was like, well, people respect my writing. So let me talk to the other writers of the level and caliber that I feel I'm at. Because the wild part is they don't know how we created. They just want it from us. They don't really care. They like
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They don't care.
And that's funny.
They don't care, but you know what I mean?
That's funny too, because the way the world is set up now is people don't care about the process. They just care about the end result. Like I seen a basketball clip the other day, and the dude dunked it on the dude, like bang, slammed it on him, right?
Right.
But at the half court, he double dribbled the ball. And then when he took the steps to slam it on him, he took 3 steps instead of 2. So he did 2 violations before he even got to the dunk. But all people are concerned about was the dunk. Oh, he put it on, he jumped on his head and that. But I'm like, yo, in the real world, it wouldn't even got to the dunk because he did 2 violations before he even got there. But all they care about is the end result. And you can see in the comments, I don't care if he walked. I don't care if he double dribbled. Did you see how he dunked it on him? Did you see? And I'm like, what do you mean? The dunk wouldn't even have happened. So it's just crazy how people's minds is.
Yeah, you played ball before. You played ball, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I know you know about all of that. So even when you look at it from a Steph Curry standpoint, like kids don't care about the other fundamentals.
Nah, man, that whole like, Euro 2-step thing is crazy. It's like they're getting extra steps, right? And it's like you couldn't even get that off because it would have been called a whistle. So it's like half of those points you earned wouldn't even have been there. So
how about the 3-pointers? Like now, a lot of kids just come down launching. They can't even shoot. Probably can't even see the rim.
Nope. They just coming because they see what he's doing. So now they just want to launch. So.
Yeah, man. So let's get into it, man, because I'm excited to talk to you just basis on we've always seen each other and been in similar circles. If there's a Lyricist Lounge event, if they had y'all there, they probably might have me and Punch there, and just it was kind of like there was dope duos at that time.
Exactly, and we always intertwined. So
always some dope duos back then. But I want to also talk about you got the 30-year anniversary of Realms and Reality.
Yes, sir.
I want to express how dope it was for me to hear y'all because I remember my first time hearing y'all. That's how dope of an impact you had on me because I was sitting up that late night stretching Bobito time, late night. And then all of a sudden, Land of the Lost come on, and I'm like, what's this? You know what I'm saying? It was new. The sound was new, which is ill too. Like it was even curated for what y'all were doing and the flows in which y'all rapped about. How special is it for y'all to have this 30-year anniversary?
Oh man, it means the world, man, because it's like 30 years later, we still being appreciated for the music that we put out. You know what I mean? So that's like we actually going to Santiago, Chile on Thursday. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we still doing shows and we still doing work off of what we did 30 years ago. So that's, you know what I mean? That in itself is just a blessing. And that just shows the time. Yeah, exactly. That's the time, the quality. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I'm showing some footage of y'all rocking the stage and killing it too at the same time. Yeah, man. So, and that's what
30 years later, we still getting it in. We still sound like the record, you know what I mean? We still, you know what I mean, got the breath, got the energy, got the control, the cadence, the flow, everything is still there, you know what I mean? And that's a gift in itself.
And how important is that as far as watching the game and then understanding to look in shape? Because brothers be having that conversation amongst friends, like, dudes can't be out there looking kind of.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, everybody, after a certain time, you're going to gain some weight. It's 30 years later. You're going to gain some weight. You're going to look a little different. Grades is going to kick in. You know what I mean? You might have a tooth missing or something crazy. But overall, a lot of people could take care of themselves a little better than what they do. We all can. Even the ones who's in shape could be even better shape. So, you know what I mean? I ain't got no muscle. I mean, I'm still slim or whatever. I ain't got no muscle. I ain't got no six pack. But, I'm still trying to keep it together. I'm still trying to keep it at least to a certain level. So
yeah, I think it's important to think about that because presentation does come along with the show. You know what I'm saying? So seeing y'all out there, y'all look, fit, y'all out there look fly and performing. I was like, I think brothers need to follow and understand that y'all ain't just popping up with the hoodie on. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Trying to hide the Homer Simpson. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. But I want to salute Jim Jones and General Steele. They be on their fitness regimen, hard body, dead press. You know what I mean? They stay with the eating good, working out. So just groups like that, I want to commend my brothers for staying on point like that.
Yeah, one of the things about you though that's dope too is like you have a unique voice.
Yes, sir.
It's very distinctive. So when hearing you automatically know, that's Phantasm, right?
Yeah. It's kind of a lighter voice, but it's a little lisp in there too as well. So it's like distinct, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what's been dope about like hearing you rap. I think that's what makes you special as far as when you're doing, if you're a feature or rapping on whatever you're rapping on, we know that we're getting something that is one of one,
Right.
How was it as far as being part of like the Loud Records legacy, putting out the project, and Nick Wiz helped with the production? What was that time like?
Oh, it was a great time, man. It was a great time. Nick Wiz has always been in our corner from day one. We started out doing demos with him, and then that led to him being on the album, and then we just kept using him ever since because he always, every time we went down in that basement, he had some heat for us, you know what I mean? And then when we got with other cats, we was going to work with other cats too, but the prices back then, you remember the prices was astronomical. Dudes like Neptunes and Timberland and these other dudes, you getting 50,000, 80,000 a beat. You couldn't even, they would have ate up your budget just by putting out one single with these dudes. So we had to stay within our group, the Ayatollahs, Large Professors, Rockwaller before he got crazy, and we always stayed with Nick because he had that sound of a Pete Rock and a Primo, but he just, the price was just way lower. So we was like, we might as well just stay where we at.
What was that conversation like when y'all started kind of curating your sound? Because y'all have your sound. Y'all do have like some people don't have their sound. I know my lane is kind of storytelling, but I don't necessarily, I would say I have a sound. I mean, I have a sound rapping. Like y'all have a total package of like the sonically, the sound, the rapping, everything. When y'all were together, what were y'all discussing? Were you like, this is it?
Well, that was the whole concept. The concept of realms in reality is the reality of it is we two kids from Brooklyn. So of course we know about all the hustling, the shorties, the Benzes, the drug dealing, you know, the streets, the party, the nightlife. We know that. We two kids from Brooklyn. That's real for us. That's a reality for us. We live that. But the realm side of it, the magical side, the wizardry, the sorcery, that's what we was bringing to the game. So the whole concept was we could show you we could do what everybody else is doing, and we could do it on their level too. But we're gonna bring this side of it. This is the creative side. This is what we, as the Cella Dwellas, are bringing to the game, the realm side. So that was the whole concept, and that's what we stuck to, because it was actually Ugg who brought that style to me when I first got with him. He was already doing that. I was already, you know, because I'm from East Flatbush, so I was doing what everybody else was doing, the Little Shawns, the Special Ed, Chuck Rock, Buster, Rampage. You know what I mean? I was doing what everybody else was doing. When I heard him kicking it, I knew about that stuff, you know, because I used to watch He-Man, Castle Grayskull, and all that stuff, but I wouldn't dare put that in the rhyme. But he was already bringing it like that. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. I said, yo, you got to stick with that. And then we just built that into a concept like, yo, this is what we're going to talk about on certain records.
And then how'd you decide on your name?
Funny story. My actual rap name was Star Child before Cella Dwellas, because UG had a partner already. They were called Cella Dwellas, and he was called UG Underground, and his partner was called Us Under the Surface. Wow. So UG Underground, and his partner was called Us Under the Surface. So they was going to be more like a kind of a Das Effects kind of thing. So I was going to produce them because I was trying to get into beat making back then. But then his partner, he played football. He got a contract overseas. He didn't go to NFL or nothing like that. So he went overseas to play football. And then UG was by himself. He was like, yo, what I'm gonna do? You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, we just gonna work on your project. You dope enough to hold the torch by yourself. We gonna get it together. And he was like, all right, well, do a song with me. I did a song with him. We put a 4-song demo together. You know, back then you put your best 4 songs on a demo. You try to take it around to get a response. But everybody kept saying, yo, that one song with y'all together. Yo, that way y'all bounce off of each other and the way y'all play off each other. And he got the dark, aggressive, and you got the lighter kind of melodic tone. And yo, y'all two together, man, it sounded good. And I was like, but you know, he got his own thing. I got my own thing. He was like, nah, I think y'all got something there, man. So we was just like, you know what? If this is what it's going to take for us to get on, let's just do that. We can always do the solo stuff later, but let's get our foot in the building. So here comes the Cella Dwellas. And then I didn't want to take the name Us, because that, to me, that was his partner's name already. So I just went with Phantasm the Tall Man from the movie Phantasm, because at that time, everybody who I was meeting was shorter than me. I mean, I'm only 6'2", so I'm not really that tall, but I was meeting like Gangstar, X-Clan, Mobb Deep, you know what I mean? Father MC. I was just running into everybody who was shorter than me. And I just felt like I was the tallest dude. It wasn't until I met Wu-Tang and I seen RZA and a couple Meth and a couple cats who was my height. But at that point, everybody was shorter than me. So I was just like, yo, Phantasm the Tall Man. I'm gonna just run with that.
And then with UG being like, y'all both are similar heights though. So
yeah,
he play ball too, or is
he's real nice.
And and y'all met in like how long? Like, yeah, I guess the background, like how'd y'all like initially
we met. I'm from East Flatbush. He's from Canarsie side by Glenwood Projects. So buddy of mine, his name is Gage. He a dope MC too. Shout out to Gage. He lived around the corner on Brooklyn Avenue, and UG was an actual dancer. He was in the clubs doing, you know what I mean? His house music, he was doing backflips off the wall, splits. He was nasty, you know, Stretching Henry, Mop Tops, and all of them. He was one of them dudes, you know what I mean? In the club scene. So he was dancing for my man, and my man had a show one time, and we all, you know, got together in a limo, and you know, we going to the show. Somebody put in a beat tape or whatever. So we all kind of freestyling in the back of the limo. And that's when everybody was in a cipher, and then it got time to UG, and he had a couple bars that he was doing. I knew him as a dancer. I didn't really know him as an MC. So while we in that cipher, he's spitting flames. And I'm like, yo, like, you sure you want to dance? Like, yo, he's like, nah, I do my little thing on the side. Y'all is the dudes and all that. I'm just trying to, I listen to what y'all be saying and what y'all doing. And I'm like, nah. I said, yo, I think you got something. He was like, yeah, well, I'm gonna try to, stay at it and keep working. I was like, yo, if you need some help, let me know. And that's, like I said, that's when I started trying to get my production game on. I said, yo, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna make some things happen. And then we started working, and then we just got cool. And then that was it.
Yeah, it's dope though, man. It was actually kind of like, as you could say, like in God's plan, if you want to, but because y'all are the height wise made the group look more official too.
Yeah, because it's no imbalance. It's like everything is where it needs to be. Yeah.
Yeah. So that added to that.
He got the more aggressive, raw in your face. I'm more laid back, more melatonin. So we kind of just ping pong off each other. It just works well. It doesn't clash.
So your writing style, to me, and then like also like seeing your writing style from back then, and how you were able to put the words together. But the flow, flow is more important than the rhymes. A lot of times, like people don't know about that. They don't even think about that sometimes. But like even seeing your evolution today, I like watching you on the gram posting, studio footage and everything. And to me, your writing style seems like it's evolved to more like life stuff. Like, because we're older, of course, and just kind of transition. How would you define your writing style, I guess, currently versus back then?
Pretty much more the same, but like, just kind of straying away from the fantasy side of it. I'm still going to do some stuff like that, but it's just, like you said, we getting older, so we can't be talking about the same stuff. So it's just kind of maturing with where we at now, but still trying to fine tune it and keep it to where it is now, just to show the progression. But we still here, we still moving, we still got day-to-day life. So it's like, we still could talk about certain things that's happening, But like you said, the flow for us as the Cella Dwellas has always been, you gotta have that, you gotta be in that pocket, you gotta deliver it right. And us as being lyricists, because there's 3 levels of MCs. You know what I mean? There's a rapper, there's guys who can rap, who can make words that rhyme. Then there's an MC who really put stuff together, and then there's that upper tier, that top echelon, which we are, is actual lyricists that just kind of put all of it, embody everything, the lyricism, the way you say it, the way you slur it, the way you ride the beat, that pocket presence. You got to have all of that.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys today don't have that.
Yeah, I was going to say, and y'all were, I would probably say, one of the first groups, if not that, when I would hear rhyme, y'all would actually listening to the beat changes and drops to figure out when to pause and then connect. And like, there's a technique to the way that y'all were rhyming, and now that I think it's like y'all was painting on the track, like, what I'm saying?
That's exactly what it is. You paint a picture. You paint a picture on the beat, and that's another thing. Back in the beginning, everybody used to write ahead of time, because you just was writing in your mother's house, or you're in your room, you just writing rhymes. You didn't have an actual studio to go to, or you didn't have tracks in advance to write to. So you were just writing. So that part of it, I think, helped us a lot, because now you're just imagining stuff. So you're not even concentrating on the beat. You're just trying to get the dopest lines and the dopest flow on page. And then you try to fit that to a beat that you feel might work. And then once we start getting beats, now we can tailor make songs to the beat and hear how the beat is taken. Because once you hear a beat will tell you where you need to go. A lot of people don't have that. I don't see why. But you can hear a certain beat, and I can already know that's a street beat, or that's a shorty joint, or that's a club banger, or this is dark. This is like real gritty. Kill them, shoot them up. You know what I mean? Some people don't have that. I don't know why. For me, that comes naturally. As soon as I hear a beat, I kind of know where I need to go with it and where I need to take it.
And then, who are some of your influences coming up? Like that?
I'm a diehard Big Daddy Kane fan.
Yeah.
Die hard Big Daddy Kane fan. No disrespect to Rakim, but just the way Kane used to, this his style, his delivery, his braggadocious, his what you want, huh? Dope dog food. It's like Kane. I salute Kane. That was my idol back in the days.
And then,
Of course, Slick Rick. You know the storytelling. You know we both tell dope stories. So Slick Rick, of course, legend.
and then, are you still writing paper pen? You writing in your head? How you writing the
Oh
bars?
no, I'm paper pen all day.
Word. Okay.
All day. All day. I don't care what nobody says. Paper to the pen is the best way of writing. You can do it that way, but to me it takes longer because when people say, people don't realize when they say, oh, these guys go off the head. They don't go off the head. They don't go in the studio and make a whole song in their head and just spit it out one time. I don't care what nobody says. I've never seen anybody do that. No. I've seen Supernatural do it. I've seen him freestyle a song.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's not going to come out an actual song, because there's going to be mistakes. There's going to be breath control. There's going to be little pockets. There's going to be little jitters where you kind of stutter a little bit. So in creating those kind of songs, you hear a beat, you'll come up with a line. Shorty is fine. I think she's a dime. She's always on my mind. Then you stop. Okay, the last thing was on my mind. Now you come up with the next line. Because she's a dime, then you take another 7 minutes. Then you come up with another line to fit the last line you did. That's the process of how they do it. They're not writing nothing down. They're thinking about it all in their head. So they're doing it line by line or bar by bar or 2 bars. They might come up with 2 bars. They stop, pause, listen to it 800 times, and then come back with another 2 bars. That, to me, that process is... So yeah, you can say, I didn't write nothing down. I came off the head and did it. But you're kind of writing it in your head. You're just not writing it on paper. You're taking your time to think about what you're saying for the next line, and then you're recording that line. Instead of writing it down and just saying it, you're recording it in line by line, bar by bar. So it's the same process. It's just you have the power to now say, I didn't write nothing down. It came off the head.
And what was it as far as what made you say you sticking to writing with the pen and pad?
For me, I need time to think about what I'm saying and how I'm saying it and how I'm going to deliver it. That's just too much pressure on me to just try to get in the booth and just try to hear something and just try to go with the flow and just knock it out. And that's the record.
What about with computer? You never really went to the computer with it?
Nah. I stick with what works. If it works, I'm sticking with it. And that's been my formula from day one.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm sticking with. So,
I was saying I spoke to Big Pooh, Pooh from Little Brother. And what's been interesting about it, from hearing what you're saying, is that he one time got his lyrics gifted to him in a frame. And I was thinking about that. Like, it made me think, like, imagine we, kind of down the line, for anybody out there, maybe somebody, or we could like curate an art gallery of the written work.
That's dope.
Because so when you're saying it to me and then he said it to me, I was like, yeah, I never really thought about it. But yes, that is the art that y'all writing.
It is because some of those rhymes and some of those stories are like scripts or like me and you talked about. They're like novels. They are books.
Yeah. These
are short stories. These are short films. And I thought that concept was dope when Irv Gotti and them, but right before he passed, rest in peace, Irv Gotti, when he was doing the tales, he was taking, people's rhymes or quotes or ideas of that bar or that verse and making short films about them.
Yeah.
Which I thought was incredible, because they are. These verses, some of these stuff that Nas, these tales that Nas tell, those are mini movies. Yeah, I think Belly was based on a lot of what Nas was talking about.
Which one?
Belly, the movie Belly.
Oh yeah. That's right. That
was based a lot on a lot of Nas rhymes.
Yeah, that's why they have the scene in there, right? When they got the One Love scene.
The One Love and the shorty on the bench and all of that.
Yeah.
I walked into the hallway. Shorty couldn't see as high as I be, whatever. Those
Yeah,
are
yeah.
some of his rhymes that they incorporated into that movie.
So what about when you're creating it? Are you worried about the verse or the chorus first?
I'm always lyrics first.
Okay.
I'm a really, really true lyricist. I don't care about nothing. What I'm saying has to say something. And it doesn't have to be like the illest thing, like, because I'm never going to try to like outshine or outdo the track or whatever. I just want to get my point across the best way possible. So if you hear me on a beat, that's what the beat was telling me at the time, and that's what I needed to do at that time.
And then how long does it take for you to write a verse or a song?
I got a week turnaround if I'm doing a paid feature.
Yeah.
If I'm doing a paid feature, if you tell me, yo, I want to work with you, yo, I need you give me the beat on a Saturday, I get it to you next Saturday, or by next Sunday, by next week you'll have it. Give me a week to sit with it. Give me a week to critique it, because by Monday, Tuesday, I'm gonna have the structure. By Wednesday, Thursday, I'm gonna retune it, fine tune it, check out some things, move some things around, whatever. And then by that Friday, Saturday, I'm gonna try to record the first draft of it, because I'm not a read off the paper studio guy.
Oh, okay.
I need to memorize my rhyme. I can't read it off the paper and spit it while I'm reading it off the paper. It's not gonna come out right for me. I can do it, but it won't have that feel. Once I know my rhyme, word for word, impact, then I can put the emotion and the feel to it. I hate reading off the paper and still recording. I gotta know it in my mind, down pat. And once I got it down pat, then I could pause it, stop it, bring it, jump on beat, jump off beat. I could speed it up, slow it down. Then I know it in the pocket and I can catch it.
How has it been as far as adjusting from the way that you want to write to sometimes maybe get in a situation in which you got to throw out the way you want to write out the window? Like if Levi's said they need a commercial, you know what I'm talking about? You know.
And I've had that a couple of times where dudes ask me for features or whatever, and like I'm a very, very humble person. So if you ask me to be on your project, I'm gonna supply you with what you need. I'm honored that you're reaching out. You're paying me. Okay, I'm gonna do what you want. Now, granted, this night might not be the best song, or it might not be the best beat. We can do something better than what you're doing, but who am I to shoot down your idea, what you feel is dope, what you see in your mind? This is what you want. You're paying me for it. I'm gonna deliver the best that I can. Now, if you're not paying me, and it's just a creative thing, we got to switch some things around. But if you're paying me to be on your song, and this is what you want, you sure you're stuck on this beat, and you're stuck on this sing-song pattern you got going on, okay, I'm going to try to accommodate you the best as I can. Sometimes that hurts, sometimes that helps, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I think it's dope that people hear you say that, because there's an assumption that everything you rhyme on, you probably chose.
Right. No,
You
and
know?
that's not it half the time. That's not it half the time. There's a ton of work that I got out there that I would have done differently had it been me.
Yeah.
My place, my beat, my creativity, but all I'm doing is being featured. You're just paying me to be on it. Now,
Right.
could I have turned it down and say, nah, that's not really my style. That's not really my, yeah. But like I said, I'm humble. I'm honored that you even asking me to be on it. So if you think that I can help deliver this or paint this better, I'll add on.
Yeah. And I think that's the perfect approach. Like you're mentioning, like a lot of times you may get a beat that may not be what you picked or what you chose, but I think the way you're gonna paint it is gonna make your verse either elevate the track,
Mm-hmm.
or people are gonna pay attention to how you beat the beat. Like you were able to outstand. So like a lot of times I'm sure that comes across and you're like, well, let me do my thing on it. When I do my thing on it, I could probably make this and do that.
I'll give you a funny story to even add on to that. I'm glad you said that, because now I've had maybe 4 maybe 3 or 4 features to where I told him, look, this is not the best beat, this is not the best situation, but we can still do. Nah, this is the one. I want you on it. I get in there, do my thing, body it. They go change the whole beat, change the whole structure around. They keep my lyrics and change the whole structure of the whole song because of how I killed it. And now my stuff may not sound in tune or because I tailor wrote it to a specific pattern that I was hearing, and now you just went and restructured the whole thing around my verse because my verse outshined the whole thing. And I'm like, now I sound off. I'm like, what, dude, what did you do? You changed the beat. Oh, yeah, I felt this. Didn't I say that in the beginning? But, it's already done. They're already overseas in Barcelona or wherever they at. They putting it out, and hey, go ahead.
Yeah, that happens so often, man. Like, it happens too often. If y'all gonna have us rhyme on something, that beat, we're tailor making this rhyme for that flow and that beat. And then,
exactly. And this is what they can get
years later. Then y'all do this. Yo, we did this joint 4 years ago. I changed the beat. Yeah, but
I changed it right
into that, and
and that's what people don't understand. We tailor make stuff. So even though the beat is the same tempo, it may be 98 beats per minute, whatever. So it's the same tempo, but you had horns, you had a bass line, you have certain pianos in there that we rhyme to those patterns. It's not just we're rhyming to the beat, to the tat, 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 and tat, 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 tat. So if you do something like that, yeah, any 98 beat tempo will work. But when you tailoring your flow to certain things, when you switch the beat, everything just goes off. And they don't get it. They don't get it.
I would say if y'all are gonna do that, just send it to us, the new version, so we can
send the new version of it, and then we can recut it, and we can recut it or redo something else. But that happened to me 3 or 4 times, and I'm just like, it got to a point where I wasn't even gonna do features anymore. I was like, nah, but I'm never gonna turn down no money. I want every dollar that I need out of this music. But it's just something that's I don't understand it.
Yeah, that happens a little too frequently as well. You still make beats?
Every now and again. Every now and again. UG is really, really, really crafting out some dope beats. So he's making me want to go back in, and I got equipment and stuff, but I just, between work and just regular everyday life, by the time I get in here and try to actually turn the thing on, I might dibble and dabble for an hour, and then I'm ready to lay it down or do something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the patience for a beat. What was it like as far as when you were making beats? How long that would take, like, to come up with a beat when you were heavy into the beat making?
I'd say about 2-3 hours. You could always come up with a head nod, you know what I mean? Something that's gonna get your head nod and get the head rocking. But to have a full-fledged structured song, I'll say about 2-3 hours, 4 hours. Yeah, to really get something really, really cranked out that I feel that could really go out there in the world and make some noise. But you can always get just a head nod, just a head cranker. You can get that popping in 2-3 hours.
And then the delivery, because you said like you like to make sure you get the rhyme memorized. Once it's memorized and you got that flow, do you punch in or it got to be straight through?
I'm a straight through guy. I'm a straight through guy. Like, we come from that era. You gotta spit it. You gotta spit that out. There's been times where I did punch in because I may have messed up on that last line or that last 2 bars, and everything else was kind of perfect. So it's like, all right, well, let me just come in from there. But if I mess up anywhere midway, middle, we doing that over. I'm gonna get it, and I'm very, very hard on myself. I'm very, very hard on myself. If I'm doing anything by myself, it's gonna take a long time because I'm crucial on myself. I can deliver something the same way. It'll be the same rhyme, but let's just say I can have 4 versions of that rhyme to where this one I kind of did this, and this one I kind of did this, and this one I was way back here. And so which one do you keep at that point? They all dope, but it's like this was here, this was here, this was did. So yeah, I'm like a Dr. Dre in that sense. Like I take long when it's my project. Somebody else stuff or whatever. If you need a version of that, I can get that to you in a week, like I said. But for me, if it's a song that I want to do and my beat and I'm A&R and everything, it's gonna take me a while because I want it to be perfect.
Are you splicing it up so like you do 2 takes and you're like, oh, I like this? Because your style, the way you land the word, it matters. The way you say, everything that you do matters when you rap. It's the way you build your style.
It's hard, man. Like I've been down here where I've actually lost my voice trying to get one verse out because I'm saying it time, maybe 8-10 times, and it's still not coming out right. That one word I could deliver better. That one word, and I've always done that too. Like even when I hear certain stuff now, I could have did this better. I could have said that better.
Yeah, so that's the unique thing about like hearing you rhyme. Like we're listening for the way you say the word. Like even the last rhyme word, you have a style to the way the last rhyme word rhymes with the other rhyme word. It's not just like, went to school and it was cool. It was like, you have a flavor in saying cool in school. So
and that's what a lot of see, you are a real one because a lot of people don't even understand that part.
Oh yeah, nah. I study all I study, man. I listen to everybody and I study because like I'm me, but at the end of the day, there's so many contributors to the game, right? And then I have to study it because I learn from everybody too. So like me listening to how you rap and your style, and like I said, I recall the first time hearing y'all. I'm up, this is my high school years probably, and I'm up late and I'm just like listening, and then that beat drops and it's just different, the sound, and then the way y'all rhyming on it, never heard that style. So I definitely looked at it on the basis of just like, it's very rare, man. It's very rare to be original. I can't, there's no Phantasm. There's no Phantasm, you know what I'm saying? Like
and we had a lot of practice with the Lyricist Lounge. I want to shout out Ant and Danny. But we had to be original because you think about it. We was performing on stage in front of huge crowds, right? These people don't know the words to these songs. We don't have a hit record out. They can't sing along with the chorus. These people are hearing these songs, a lot of these songs that we did for the first time.
Right.
And we're still capturing them and they're engaged and they're listening. And we're not getting booed and we're not getting shoved off the stage. So that in itself is dope. If you can get on the stage and nobody knows your words and they can't sing along and you don't have a hit song that's been on the radio and do a brand new song that nobody's ever heard and do 3 or 4 of them and not get booed and everybody's still engaged and everybody's still clapping. And, oh shit. That's a skill set within itself.
Yeah, I would say also that's one of the dope things about y'all too, the performing aspect. So when you're saying the rhymes, y'all are like curating the rhymes with your body movements, and you know what I'm saying? Like it's not just you standing up there and spitting the verse, like you're moving on stage and everything. So do y'all rehearse, or was that part of it too? Before y'all came out, did y'all like do some like rehearsals and be like, yo, when I'm on stage, we doing this? Because when y'all don't just say the rhyme, even listening audio wise, but physically watching y'all on stage, there's a cadence to it. Right. So the performance aspect.
But that's another thing. We just go with the vibe and the bounce. We don't really rehearse what we're gonna do or whatever. We just kind of just go with the flow. So that's why a lot of times people will see me and Ugg, and me and him is kind of engaging and laughing and like kind of, you know what I mean? Because it's like it's not a rehearsed thing to where it's like after 4 bars, we're gonna turn our backs and go back to back and start singing, and then we turn forward. You know what I mean? It's not like it's nothing structured. So we just come out and just wing it. And I'm an MC. I'm going for mine. Your turn. You go for yours. And sometimes we kind of amaze each other on stage. Like there may be a day where he's just killing it. And I'm like, it's like people see my face and they thinking, oh, this is a part of the routine. No, I'm really in awe. Like this. My man is bodying this right now. Like he's controlling his breath. All his words is clear. And I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta show my eyes now. You just kept going every you know what I mean? So we feed off each other. And people may think that that's rehearsed, but it's not. We just 2 MCs going for hours.
And then do you prefer writing in the studio or, studio? What I mean by that is like, if you get called to go do a feature or a song, would you prefer to write it at home and then
Now,
bring it? Or
I'm home. I'm homebody. I don't like pressure. I don't like time limits. I need time to sit and let me do my thing. Let me be home in my drawers eating some Fruit Loops, and
Right.
I'm gonna pen some shit for you. I got you. If you tell me, yo, I booked the studio for 5 hours, yo, come. I may come an hour into it because he got to make the beat first. So now we only got 3 hours for me to write it and spit it and
yeah.
Nah, I don't need that pressure. Give me the beat ahead of time. Let me write to it. Let me get it right. When we go into that 4-hour session on Thursday, I'm gonna come in there and nail it for you. I got you.
And then you prefer to write everything to the beat, or do you have some rhymes that's on the side? Like, yo, I got something that can fit that, you know?
I'll write to the beat. If it's a feature, I always kind of, because I want to listen to what they're talking about and what they're saying, and I might add on to that. I'm not one of those guys that's just gonna give you a verse that I had and just throw it on your song and say, pay me.
Yeah.
Because you might have a song talking about, I'm going back to El Segundo, right? You might have the tribe. I ain't got no rhyme saying El Segundo. My rhymes might be talking about just cars and BMWs. What that got to do with El Segundo?
Yeah.
So if you telling me you want me on your song and the name of your song is El Segundo, I got to go do my research. I might have to go look at a map or go look at something about El Segundo or whatever. Or I might have to listen to what you said prior and add on from one of your lines to make it a real feature featuring me on this. So then, I'm really specific about stuff like that.
And then your beat picking process, what's that like for you? As far as like knowing, all right, because the dope thing is you've evolved, and there was a time when you rhymed one way and we all were rhyming, trying to have punchlines and all this. There was a certain era there. Then now you've evolved to, you know, grown man life stuff and still being dope. And I'm ill on the mic. You know, now we got all of that. You got all the tools in the tool shed now. So when you're picking beat for the album or song, what's that process like as far as, because now you got all the weapons. You know what I'm saying?
But it just got to move me. It got to move me in a certain way. It just got to hit me with a certain vibe, because everything for me is kind of spiritual. Not spiritual in a sense, but it just has to move me within. Like, I can hear a beat and the beat could be dope, but it's just not doing nothing for me. And then I can hear another loop and it's just a loop and a groove, but the way it's just swinging, the way it's just bouncing. Yeah, I could do something with this. I could write it. Like, yo, you like this? I was like, yeah. It may, to you, the other beat might be better. It's a better beat, but it's not doing nothing for me. It's not making me move. This little loop and this little, I'm hearing something in that pocket. I could go, I could go. I could do something with that. Now, your beat might be some other thing, but just this way this little thing is moving, it's making, I'm hearing the words, I'm hearing the flow, I'm hearing little pockets. I could do something with this. And so for me, the beat just gotta move me. Once it moves me, it's gonna tell me what to do, and then I'm gonna go.
And then how many beats do you like sent to you? Because so some, you know, I try to ask these questions from what we be thinking about. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, you know, do we want to like?
I'm a send me what you got. Send me what you got.
Okay.
You got me?
It froze for a second. There you go.
I don't know. We lost. Okay, there we go. Yeah, but yeah, I'm a send me what you got type of dude. I'll take the time and pick through them and sit through, because we come from that era where a dude will send you 30 beats, and then the gem might be beat 28.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to sit through 28 joints. You be like, yo, that number 28. I like 28. I like 17, and I like, 22. So had you sent me your best 5, I would have never even got to 17 and 28. If I let you pick your dopest 5, I wouldn't have got to those.
Yeah.
So, and now I got 3 that wouldn't have been on your thing, because I got 1 out of the 5 you sent, but then I got 13 and I got 28. So send me everything you got. I'll take the time to cipher through and see what's what, and I'll pick out the gem within that batch. Now, just because I picked 17 and 28 don't mean that there's other gems in there. That's just the gems that I felt that I could get my nut off to.
Right.
That's not taking anything away from what you're doing or other beats. I'm not saying that those other beats are trash or whatever. I'm just saying these are the ones that I feel that I can do my thing on.
How do you feel when a producer will send you only this batch they think you fit? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right? They do that. They try to pigeonhole you and be like, they figure Cella Dwellas, so they're gonna give you a dark, mystical, gothical sound, and yeah. But I would prefer you do it the other way. But if that's what you feel you need to do, or if you got something tailor made in your mind that you feel, because like I said, I'm very, how would you say? I'm gonna try to give you what you think that I deserve. So if you got an idea or concept in your mind, I'm gonna try to live up to that. So if this is what you feel I should be on or whatever, like I said, if you're paying me, I'm gonna do it your way because you're paying me to do so. Now, if me just being creative, now I got to bring out the best creativity I can. So now we got to change some things around. So if you're paying me, I'm just gonna do what you need me to do because you're paying me to do this. You're not paying me to be creative. You're not paying me for my A&R skills. You're not paying me for my brain set. You're paying me to rhyme. Okay, I'm gonna give you the best rhyme possible. But if I gotta be creative, now we gotta be creative. We gotta do some things. We gotta change some things around.
And then what about this no drum era in drums? Does it matter? Do you prefer the beats that have drums?
I'm from a drum era, but I've seen certain things get off to where I feel I could do it. I was opposed to it growing up, but after like, how Ghost got his off, all that guy, when he killed that, Rock Marcy is famous for just the no drum, just finding a dope loop and just bodying it. So if you get the right soul groove or whatever, it might not need no drums. It might not, because there's certain soul grooves that when you try to put drums to it, if you don't put the right drums to it, it's going to take away from the feel. So sometimes you might just catch a loop where it's that groovy, it's that melodic to where it's just like, I could just go right off of this. So I'm not opposed to it. If you find the right one, I'm not opposed to it at all.
And then as far as your revision process, right? Like, how do you know like when you're done? Like, how do you know like this is the verse right here? This is gonna be fire. How people may receive it. I finally, if I really catch the Holy Ghost and I nail it, I know it. I know it. Because there's certain times where you catch the Holy Ghost where you like, yo, I bodied that. Like everything was just right in it. But it doesn't happen a lot for me. Because like I said, I'm a perfectionist. Everything got to be on point, and very few times have I felt where I just nailed it from head to toe. Because for me, even I think even for you, G2, but his voice is aggressive enough. But for me, I'm a better live performer than I am a studio performer. Because once I'm live, now I can really just, you know what I mean? I can give it to you. In the studio, when you kind of boxed in the headphones and you just kind of just gotta just go with the groove, I never really get my complete performance out of that. And I salute guys who can do that, like a Buster, like Buster. I can never be boxed into a little mic booth with headphones on and then act like I'm performing in front of a massive crowd, because for me, the crowd is not there. I can't imagine being in that setting and just screaming, yo, everybody do. I can't do that in the studio because I won't feel that. I'm more of just, now when I get live, now I can see the crowd, I can see the sea of people. Now I can give it to you how it's supposed to be done. I can never give you those type of party crowd records just in the studio. That would be hard for me. It would be a challenge for me. So on the cutting room floor, as they say for movies, do you leave a lot of rhymes like when you're writing and it's like, I'm gonna push these to the side. This doesn't fit this verse here, so I'm gonna push these rhymes to the side, and then you say,
yeah. I've got a ton of those that never made the cut, that could have been reworked or whatever. Just and like I said, like we said before, not to say that they're trash or it just wasn't working for what I was doing now. There's still good rhymes.
Right.
There's still rhymes that make sense, that they got a flow, they got a bounce, but it wasn't fitting for what I was trying to do.
Now, as far as from when you first came on the scene, y'all have always been storytelling, right? And which has been dope. So it's been storytelling, even just based off the theme of the album. You think about the album, the way that y'all will rhyme and put things together, even if you're talking about stuff that maybe in the realms aspect of it, whatever it was, y'all always rhyme. Y'all always rhyme story. It's funny because it's funny because it wasn't rhyming braggadocious about stuff, but it was bragging, but it was in a story style that y'all were able to do it. So how important it's so wild because I love doing the show because I can ask y'all mindsets. So what was when y'all were doing that then, and you say how you like Slick Rick and Kane and everything, what was that mindset as far as understanding what y'all are rapping about, but we can't rap it like that? We need to rap it in a way, you know what I'm saying? Like because y'all not just rapping it and saying random stuff just together, because a lot of people do that too. It could be like it wasn't that. Y'all are taking us on this journey and talking to each other.
Exactly.
Right? It's a lot of realms to the way y'all do it. So what was that? How did y'all develop that aspect of storytelling in that realm, and then storytelling today? What's that like for you?
It's exactly what you said earlier. You hit it on the head. Lyrical painters.
Right.
We are painting a picture. If you close your eyes and you listen to what's being said, you can envision everything and you can see it play out in your mind like a movie. If you listen to Land of the Lost and close your eyes and just listen to the words, it's going to take you somewhere.
Right.
Straight from the land of the lost, where there's no fears, to shed no tears, a shout out to my people under the stairs. No straitjacket can restrain me. Have many followers like the Ayatollah Khomeini. Ahmad, Sikina Me'eda, wicked and better. Love the color redder. Rummer, the land is where I'm from. Get dumber with the drummer. Summer madness, I bring madness next summer. Sin begins, can't gain weight. I'm cursed to a human skeleton. Possess the first power. So call Lou Diamond Phillips the Indian. As the streets get windy and cloudy and dark, ask Noah for shelter in the ark. I'm coming for you like the great white shark can change shapes and liquidate into a serpent. So where's the rainbow? As I strangle with the halo. So sleep in heavenly peace. Cause they say that music calms the beast. That's within my body structure that's frail. The land of the lost, mysterious, like the third rail. You see what I'm saying? You close your eyes, you see all of it. You see on that. You see the structure that's frail. You see the color red. You see Ayatollah Khomeini. You see, you can envision everything I just said. You can envision everything I just said, and that's just one verse off of one song.
Right.
And we do that for a whole album.
Yeah, that's why I was saying. I think that might be like something underrated about the project is realizing the aspect of the storytelling. Which is why 30 years later we can listen to the album
and it can still be appreciated. And like I said, we going out Thursday. We still doing shows 30 years later.
Because the storytelling aspect of it. Yeah. It's crazy. Now that you got me thinking even further with it, because I've done books. I did kids' book, which is here on my wall. I do books. And I'm up here like, yo, that rhyme probably should be a book.
It could be.
Yo, you probably can turn that verse into a book.
No, you're absolutely right, because I have maybe 3 Facebook pages. One got, a couple of them got compromised, whatever. But on my first page, and even back in MySpace days, I used to take every time I would put up a picture, an actual real picture from my real life or whatever, I would have a bar from one of my rhymes to kind of coincide with the picture to show you that it's not just rhymes that I'm talking about, it's actual life. So when I say now my I said something about now my bikes turn to CBR bikes, weekend flights or whatever. So I would show you, like, if I'm standing next to a motorcycle or whatever, I would take a bar from my actual work and show you that the bars are actually real life stuff. It's not just raps. It's not random raps that I'm writing. This is actual life right here. Life imitating art, or art imitating life, whichever you want to call it. But and that just goes to show. And I would have a bunch of them, just bars. So it's true. These are mini movies. These are books.
Yeah, that rhyme is definitely, I'm up here like, man, that joint right there. I could read the first few bars, turn the page, reading that to a kid, and just kind of like, here, check out this world, and you know what I'm saying, the land of the lost, and here's the book, and so, you know, that's just that's one of the reasons, another reason why I love talking about this, because I'm able to delve into when y'all was creating it, but also just like listening to the rhymes, and just as we spoke before, just how do we transition as we're aging in here? And there's so many other realms that the rhymes fit in now. Yeah. The rhymes fit in so many formats now. It's not just the record no more. That rhyme, the book, book to the movie, the short film.
Yeah. I definitely do. The way I write, I definitely got a bunch of bars that can be a book, and then certain stuff can be broken down and explained or whatever. Because, like I said, for me, I'm a lyrical painter. If you close your eyes and you really listen and tune into what I'm saying, it's gonna unfold. Everything I'm saying it's gonna unfold it's gonna unfold right in front of your eyes. You're gonna see it.
So what's the studio setup like for you when you're recording? You know, you record at home, or you going out?
I'm going to another studio, but I got a setup here too as well. I just got the regular. I got a Mac.
Right.
I got the Native Instruments machine. I got a MPC Renaissance that I never even used. Got the mic set up. Yeah, so I got a home setup here, and I got my main spot that I be using sometimes too. Or if I'm in New York, I'm always going to Wiz. So,
what's the main drum machine that you like?
I've been on this machine for a while. Okay. The machine, because that's what Nick uses a lot too. He's an SP man, of course, but then he transitioned to the machine. So I had an MPC 2000 XL. That's what made me get the Renaissance, but I haven't used that in a while, and it got too many different pages to go through and scroll through. I like stuff simple and easy. I'm not a super duper technical guy, so I like stuff right in your face. 1, 2, 3. Let me just do it, work it out. I don't want to have to keep flipping back and do this and do this to do this to do this. I like stuff 1, 2, 3. Just real simple like that.
So with today's music, and seeing all these errors we've seen and artists that come out, the motivation factor, like, is there anybody you would suggest that people to go listen to, or how are you staying motivated? What's the way to do it, man? You know, the game is kind of crazy today.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. I still haven't got caught up with the technology and all that stuff. Like, I don't even got like a TikTok page or nothing. So me, myself, I'm kind of still a dinosaur. I need to really get myself updated and acclimated to all the new stuff that's happening. So I'm still kind of stuck in that, but I still create music though. So that part, I still got bangers sitting in here now. I just don't know how to get them out to the world. I don't know how to distribute them. I don't know how to get them to streaming platforms, but I still can create dope music. I still create music on a weekly basis, just for my own personal, because that's just what I like doing. I'm an actual real hip hop artist. When they say rap is something you do, hip hop is something you live. I live this. This is my life. I would do this whether I was getting paid for it or not. I'm still going to do it. It's my life. So
yeah, I think
today more to the whole, TuneCore and iTunes and all that other stuff. I need to really, really catch up and do something.
Yeah, I think today more than ever we doing it because we love it. Because there ain't no money out there. Spotify, streaming,
and that's the thing. We come from that era to where we used to get paid for our work. So me giving away stuff for free, that's never been a thing of mine. So I never want to sit here and create something so dope and so thing, and then just give it away. But at the same time, you can have 30 dope records sitting here, and who's gonna hear it? I know it's dope, I know it's hot, but if it's just sitting here, what is that gonna do? So you got to find a balance in between the both worlds, and I still haven't figured that part out yet.
Yeah, I've looked at it like, man, you know, Afro.
Mm-hmm.
So I've worked my last album I did with Stu Bangers was dope, and then we dropping a new one this month, and then I worked with Afro as well on his project. And Afro, the thing about working with both of them, man, like you said, like I'm learning new stuff. I learned like Stu Banger's infrastructure and calendar of putting out projects is just consistent. Like he's always had something coming out. Then working with Afro, if I'm right, he's about 2 generations below us. I think he's like 28, maybe more.
Right, that's the dude, the heavy dude work with Already Rugged Man, right?
Yep. And I learned from Afro too. Like last month, he dropped 3 albums. He did he did his album. He did an album with Stu. He did an album with another friend of his that he got. And then he dropped the album that he produced all the tracks. He didn't do no rhyming on it, I recall. He just produced it to show his production stuff. And then I'm just learning that this day and age of it is really just like you just make it and release it, man. And then I seen RJ Payne say, like, don't let nobody fool you. You can make money streaming. But I'm realizing the way dudes is making money streaming is flooding.
They're over. But the thing is, how does that even work, though? See, somebody would have to sit down and break it down to me, because I just don't see it. I just don't see how that works. I don't know how that works. And if I got a better understanding of it, maybe I could do it, because I've been wanting to release a project of my own for a long time. Like UG put out some projects and stuff, and everybody, what fan doing? And I'll just be chilling like, I don't know if it's worth it. But in my absence, people forget how dope I am.
Yeah, I don't think we can forget that though, brother. Like
there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who's sleeping. There's a lot because of UG is so active and I'm so in the back that they just kind of forgot. Maybe they're not sleeping, but they kind of forgot. So I got a little chip on my shoulder that I want to wake a couple people up. Like y'all really don't know, if I really sit down and I come up with a whole 9 or 10 song album of my own, of the beats that I want to put out, and my style and my cadence and my flow and my lyrics of all 10 songs, y'all gonna get some shit. But I just haven't done it yet. So I might just do it just to say, just to show niggas what it really is. Because if I put my A&R hat on and my executive hat, it's gonna be a dope project. Guarantee you that.
Yeah, there's some distribution and stuff out there that when we get off here, I don't mind like check these people out and start helping with conversation, man.
Right.
Definitely, man. Dudes can't forget. Like you etched in stone with it. You know what I'm saying? You etched in stone.
Definitely, but I think I want to do like a 7-song EP just to show motherfuckers like, yo. That dude right there got some shit. He got some shit.
What would you for the new artists? And speaking on, because of the eras we came from, I brought up Afro earlier, which was dope about that. I rhymed on that album, and it enlightened, like you said, it was like, because he's generations below. They was like, who's that guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's people that don't know me. I did an interview on here with somebody that's super fire. I interviewed somebody and they didn't even know I rap. They didn't even know I was a rapper. Just interviewing them. So it's definitely, it's just definitely like understanding that there are some generations of people that may not know who we are. So I get what you're saying with that. But for those that don't know, what are like three pieces of work that you would say for them to go check out to get to know you? Verses or whatever you want,
I would say
Hold on, it's breaking up a little bit.
Get crazy.
Pause it for a second. I think he's gonna sign right back in. Man, this has been a dope interview for me though, y'all. Like I said, I remember sitting up, Stretch Armstrong and Bobito, like 2, 3 in the morning. Land of the Lost come on. But first, you know, you get to hear the beat. When the beat come in, and then you're like, what's this? And that's what was dope about what I enjoy about hip hop is the new sounds that people were bringing that will be coming out of nowhere. Just randomly new sounds would be coming in different styles. So, you know, when you say Wu-Tang, they don't sound like nobody. Then everybody in Wu-Tang sound different. Then you got, you know, Cella Dwellas sound different from Boot Camp Click. And then you got all these different variations of artists that were coming out. And even if you take it to like a West Coast, you know, Snoop and so on and so forth, nobody was sounding like each other. So that's why I enjoyed, you know, the hip hop in that stage in that era. So we're just waiting for Phantasm to come back on. But yeah, make sure y'all go out there and support, and everybody's still out here getting busy. You know, this is official Tall Man fan. You know, if y'all get to check it, it's on Instagram. Make sure y'all get to check out his Instagram and go see what he got going on. You'll see him on there with verses. And just like it's been real dope, just kind of like delving into understanding the flow pockets. If anybody's a fan of Cella Dwellas, they know that the way that dudes would just ride on the track was way more unique than the average rapper. It was just way more, it was different the way they paint pictures and put it together. So yeah, it's special. So we're just chilling right now. But make sure y'all also, they got the 30-year anniversary of the Cella Dwellas Realms and Reality. And this was a phenomenal project as well. And a lot of these artists from that time, their albums have stood the test of time to be touring and still doing shows. And it's so wild because I don't know if everybody thought or anybody thought that first album or second album or whatever that album that they really hold dear to them would actually last that long, and then 30 years later still be able to perform songs from it. I think back then dudes is just like, you know, just making music, right? You're just making music, which is ironic though, because even today people are just making music and putting it out, and we kind of complain about that, right? Like, yo, they just putting music out. But back then there was some of that going on. There was some of that just putting music out to be putting music out going on as well. So, you know, back then it was like that too. So, you know, can't complain about that as well. Yeah. I was just talking about how 30 years later, when y'all made the project, you weren't able to predict that 30 years later, you still would be able to thrive off the projects. Like, because we were just putting music out because you loved it. So I was explaining to people like, man, 30 years later, you just put music out to put it out because you love doing it. And I was saying how sometimes it's almost contradictory or contradiction that we complain about people just putting music out in a way because we kind of had that same mentality, but you never know how long it's gonna go. But yeah,
exactly. And if we did know that it would last 30 years, we would have did a lot of things different even back then. You know what I mean?
Right.
We would have had stuff structured, or we would did more of it or whatever. Like if I didn't think we was gonna have a 30-year career, especially as being underground artists, because we weren't trying to make pop records. We weren't trying to make records that's gonna live on the radio for years and years. We were underground. We knew what we were, and we stuck to our roots,
right,
unconditionally. Whether it was gonna make us go or whether we was gonna go wood, We didn't care. We stuck to a certain thing. This is who we are. This is what we created. If people who do get it, and we get a big following, that's who we're gonna live by, and that's who we're gonna live for. We didn't want the other side. You know what I mean?
So
Of course, we wanted to get rich and all of that, but if it didn't happen, it didn't happen. We just wanted to stick to what we were doing, and that might have hurt us more than it helped us, but it is what it is. You know, you live with your decisions.
So how can people get in touch with you? I have the Instagram on here, but of course, people that drive around and listen as well. If they want to get in touch with you to get a verse, booking shows, like y'all are always doing something.
Yeah. Official Tall Man Fan on the Instagram, Facebook. I think it's Cella Dwellas or whatever. I think Cella Dwellas. So I think that's what it is. I'm not even sure, because like I said, I had 3 of them that got compromised. So I'm not even sure which one I'm using right now. But yeah, just get through Facebook or Instagram.
Well, man, thank you, man, for being on the show. And
no doubt.
I'm happy because we don't really get to talk. We see each other, we talk when we are in the same areas. Like we might be around each other,
exactly.
kicking it. But like today, I got to really talk and build with you, which is super dope. And being a fan of yours for 30 years is dope, because we can be fans of each other and friends and know each other in a working environment, but on the same regard, now we're older. It's like, man, like I can understand the journey. We're more like journeymen, like, you know what I'm saying?
It's a serious journey, man. It's a serious journey, and we both came a long way from when we started. You know what I mean? And I want to salute you on your journey as well. You're doing a lot of things, definitely with the book and all that stuff. Congratulations on that, and just stepping into new, different worlds, which I need to do as well. But that book thing, I'm gonna really think about that one, because I think I got enough ammo to do something with that.
Yeah, and I'm here, man. I'll walk you through the process on any of that stuff, man. So I'm always down to help, brother.
Okay.
But yeah, man, make sure y'all go out there, support. They got shows coming up, everything's happening. One of the best lyricists of our time with writing these rhymes and putting together these lines, y'all. Phantasm. Thanks again for being on the show. And like I always say, y'all, what are your words worth?
Exactly.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Thanks a lot, brother.